No doubt, Matt, because at the end of the day, when we talk about global headwinds, we're not just talking about the U.S.-China trade spat or what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz, are we? We're talking about the bigger picture, and that's always going to have something to do with those regional tensions, the Sunni-Shia, long drawn-out conversation between Saudi Arabia and Iran. And I think it's going to be really interesting in the days ahead to see just how far the Europeans are going to be able to assuage this situation, because at the end of the day, this is all about the rhetoric, isn't it, between Tehran and Washington. Now, what we've seen over the last couple of days, particularly here in France, is the French president coming out and sending an envoy to Tehran to try and soothe out these tensions, because very, very much a concern, not just for European leaders, but also for the Chinese and the Russians, and of course the Americans as well. The fact that Tehran has decided to up its nuclear enrichment. We're talking about going from the allowed 3.6 to 4.5. Now, they've also said that, and threatened, frankly, that they're going to continue to do that as a matter of course. And what we're talking about, frankly, is 50, to be honest. 50 days that they're saying it's going to be before they decide to do something more here. And so it's something that's a matter of course, a matter of time, really, and something that the European leaders have said again and again that they're deeply concerned about, and they've called for an urgent meeting to address this.
Yeah, and potentially up to 20% if they don't get their way when it comes to what's happening in Europe. Now, you also got the chance to speak with the Egyptian finance minister as well. I know that there was a lot of attention on what's going on in the Gulf. What did he have to say?
I did indeed, Matt. And, this is a real exciting story, frankly, for the Egyptians after years of painful growth in terms of not just what's happening with these subsidies and reforms, and the fact that the president really has said again and again that it's going to be on the Egyptian people really for the next couple of years to take the brunt of these painful economic reforms. There has been some sign of progress. They're expecting growth of at least 6% this year. In an exclusive interview, I caught up with the finance minister and asked him what's on the agenda next for Egypt. He told me, what we're focusing now on is becoming a gateway. We're in a great position in terms of the logistics. We want to be a gateway to Africa. Listen in.
Egypt now is becoming like a hub in the region for such a very important source of energy, which will be good to, put a strategy, discuss a strategy for both consumers and...
Does it put Egypt, in a sense, in a position of strength in the region to have that kind of independence?
Yes, because look, if you look at many other countries in the region, you will see that from GDP growth, Egypt is the highest. From population, Egypt is one of the highest. From stability, Egypt is a stable country. From market, from location, from a country with a policy to improve its environment, reduce bureaucracy, move to automation and all of that. I think Egypt is moving in a good position, even with a foreign policy. Our position is to have good relationship with all our neighbors, and because our main interest is to concentrate on development.
That was Egypt's finance minister speaking exclusively to me yesterday, and he was essentially saying that not only do we want to become a gateway for investment in Africa, and we're very well positioned to do that, but we also want to be able to use this newfound energy freedom when it comes to foreign policy, frankly. It gives them a lot more leeway when they're not walking to these Gulf governments, particularly the UAE and Saudi Arabia, doesn't it, with their hands held out saying we need help when it comes to fuel, we need help when it comes to energy. That's really changed the dynamic there and really, frankly, allowed for a lot more leeway. It's just yet again, Matt, that intersection between the politics and the energy. Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.